Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another peaceful drive through my town, filmed live from the dashcam because apparently reality now writes better comedy than professional screenwriters. And just to be clear, this is right in the town center, not some abandoned industrial estate, not the set of a low budget apocalypse film, the actual town center. Now take a look at the grey BMW in front of me, a very new one as well, a 2024 model, nicely equipped, twin exhausts, and definitely not something you find in the reduced section at Tesco. Beautiful car. The driving, however, appears to have been purchased separately. Straight away, the driver starts moving into my lane without indicating. The indicator eventually comes on, but only after the maneuver has already begun, which is a bit like putting on a seatbelt after the accident. Perhaps indicators are now an optional BMW subscription service, £9.99 a month, and the driver clearly forgot to renew it. Anyway, we continue. Now the BMW appears to be turning left. No indicator at first. Then the indicator comes on, and immediately the car returns to its original lane. Excellent. Even the driver doesn't know where we're going. At this point, the sat-nav has probably stopped giving directions and started offering emotional support. Then the brake lights come on briefly, just to make sure everyone behind remains spiritually alert. We stop at the traffic lights, and I'm trying to understand what exactly is happening here. Maybe it's a new driver. Maybe the owner has allowed a friend to try the car. Maybe there's a very intense discussion happening inside. Or perhaps the driver is simply operating on a different version of the highway code, one available only in their imagination. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just observing that the car is moving extremely slowly and making decisions with the confidence of a committee meeting. Anyway, we carry on. And remember, this is the center of my town in England. Now look over to the right and have a look at these buildings. People often imagine England as Buckingham Palace, beautiful cottages, afternoon tea, and perfectly maintained historic streets. And then there's this. Here we have the Sakura Japanese restaurant, and above it the buildings have become so neglected that they've started growing their own trees. Not small weeds, actual trees. The building is no longer waiting for maintenance. It has accepted its fate and is gradually returning to nature. At this rate, give it another 5 years and David Attenborough will be filming a documentary up there. Here, in its natural habitat, we observe the rare British rooftop forest, untouched by builders since approximately 1987. There used to be a petrol station around here. Now there's some kind of warehouse, several tired-looking buildings, and enough vegetation to suggest that the local council's maintenance strategy is simply let the ecosystem handle it. And again, this isn't somewhere miles outside civilization. This is more or less the center of my town. I'm not going to mention the name of the town for privacy and security reasons. Also, I don't want the local council turning up at my door with a strongly worded leaflet. But have a proper look around. England doesn't always look the way it appears on television. The television gives you castles, royal ceremonies, and beautiful countryside. The dashcam gives you confused BMWs, buildings, growing forests, and urban planning that appears to have been left unread. But there we are. Welcome to real England. Mind the potholes, watch the BMW, and please do not feed the trees growing out of the buildings.